I'm going to start working on the slaps. It's blown, the coil is shot, and Alan from Slapz Audio was cool enough to send me a separate coil all by itself for me to do. So he also sent me a bunch of dual-octas single. I don't know how many he sent me, but I'm hoping it's enough for the build coming up. And other than that, I mean, I'm just doing this. So I will say that so far, just looking at it, the glue on this is way stronger and thicker than all the other ones I've been taking apart, and I've did a lot. So it's going to tear the cone, it's going to tear everything, but it's still going to be salvageable. It just might not be pretty. The cap is off, and as expected, it's going to tear it up. So I can tell that, oh yeah, turn the light on now, you can really see it. That is a lot of glue. Good night. This is going to be rough. I'm going to heat this up and just, man, I'm hoping I can salvage this. This looks like it's going to be the hardest to salvage. So I'm going to heat up the heat gun. Get it nice and hot. It's going to take a while, but you get it nice and hot. And then I start picking at it with my knife and start pulling it with my knife and getting it soft and loose. But what I do first is I get my caliper meter and I write down every metric piece about this, and when I put it back together, it is to the T. So just letting you guys know. I know this looks bad, guys, but you just heat it up to where it gets nasty. This coil is no good, so you know, obviously I'm just heating it up. Let me turn this light on. There you go. I'm heating it up and then slowly bending it away from the from the cone, because I don't want to hurt the cone. I don't care about the coil. So I'm just going to keep heating this thing up with a heat gun and slowly bending it away, getting it unstuck from the actual cone itself. And then once I can get this cone and spider and everything off of this guy, I can start cleaning up this mess and making it look good and getting it ready for the next coil. Alrighty guys, so I just kept heating it up, beating it up. I know it looks bad, but you know, it's what you got to do. And then now it's just, that's out. So now it's just this and this. So I salvaged trying to take the coil pack off and taking these out, this glue. So I'm going to put a little bit of CA glue on this. But now I just need to clean the inside of all this out, which is super hot, and get the next coil ready once I get all this nice and clean. Okay, so I got to get the next coil ready, get it all cleaned up, and put it in here just like this, and then boom, be done. But I salvaged small parts of the tinsel. Let me switch this over. So here's one, see, and then the other one should be right here. So I salvaged some of the tinsel leads that I can resolder back on it on both sides. But once I get this cleaned up, you'll see it'll be a lot easier, guys. But it's going to take me a while. I might just do this and finish it tomorrow because it's getting late. But yep, so far this is what we're doing. I triple check that this is perfectly straight with this. I'm going to go around this with some CA glue and activator to hold it, so I know it ain't going to shift and move. And as long as it's correct with the spider, it froze. Sorry. As long as it's correct with the spider, we're good. But once I get this done, I'm gonna flip it over and clean it where I can get these coil wires to mount up to close to where these tinsel leads are on the other side, and then solder them, and then CA glue the inside here, and there, and then CA glue on the inside right here. But yep, there we go. Alright, you see it smoking? That's just that good, bro. Lords of Base extra thick CA glue and accelerator. It's not necessary to put it on this side because it's the coil side, so it could get hot and then glue go down to the coil and get all stinky. But this is to hold this because I'm rebuilding from used parts. Therefore I really shouldn't have to break this thing back in. But it's just going to help hold this so when I'm doing everything else that it's not going to shift and move. So we're on this side now, and here's the tinsel leads coming off the coil, the big long ones. So sorry, there we go. And then you can see 1 tensile lead here, 1 tensile lead there, and then vice versa, 1 here, and then 1 right here. I'm gonna have to clean this up and expose it really good, and then obviously solder the shit out of it, and then get it all CA glue and activate it after I do a ohm test on it to make sure it's good. Alrighty, so I got it cleaned up, but I lost the Allen bolts that go here. Oh, I didn't lose them. I used them on another build for another person's sub. So I stole some from another one over here, and they're Phillips. And usually I use a square Allen key to tighten them because you ain't got no room. So I had to go find this thing. It took me forever. This is my little baby Phillips, and it's perfect for what I'm doing to get in here with the cone being in the way doing it. So yep, let me go ahead and get this going, and yeah, just let you know the progress. Sometimes it's just things happen. This didn't work out as planned. It's in there good, no rubbing, nice and great, but the screws that I got are a little too long, so I gotta go find some that are smaller. I just did a test fit on one right here, and it was just a little bit smaller and it worked perfect. So I'm going to go dig around and find some more. I got a drawer that's full of stuff, like this kind of stuff, so I'm going to dig around and try to find some. I am done with all the screws. That was so time consuming, but I just realized the push terminals that go right here, I put them on that one. So I'm going to take those back off and put the original twist, not push, but twist terminals back on that one, so I could have my push terminals on this. And yep, and then after that I'm just going to clean up all this in here and solder it and put the dust cap back on, and this thing's done. Alrighty, so I cleaned up and bent over the leads, and I'm soldering them. Now this isn't perfect solder, but it's high heat temp solder, so once it sticks, it's there. So this side's a little bit more exposed, easier looking, so I'm gonna lay it all over, press it with a screwdriver to where it gets all nice and bent and everything cornered on all this, and then heat it all up and start soldering it down, and then clipping the leftover. And this one over here, I'm going to redo it, make it look a little better. I already checked it with the ohm reader. It's perfect at 2 ohm. So let me get going, guys. Alrighty, guys. So I got it cleaned up a little bit better, a little bit more, and I'm getting ready to test out the ohm reading on it. And then once that's good to go, I'm going to snip off the remainder and then get CA glue, fill this whole entire thing up all the way around it, like it was before. And then dust cap, baby. The dust cap's pretty beat up, and so is this, but it's okay. I'll make sure I do a decent job where the dust cap's going to do what it's supposed to. And then after that, start gluing the surround down. And oh yeah, I got to put the push terminals back in. I had to take them off of the other build that I accidentally put them on. So, but yep, there we go, guys. I'm gonna do my best to do this one-handed. Alright. She on there, it's not perfect, but you ain't ever gonna see it, you know what I mean? Let me wipe off this CA glue cap. Now we're gonna spray some accelerator. Should steam, smoke, maybe harden. Yep, there it goes, smoking. Maybe a little too much accelerator, brother. But yep. And then after that, guys, just let it set and put the dust cap on it, and we'd be good to go. Alrighty, guys. So I'm gonna do the surround first, then the dust cap, because I don't want to put weight on it and it push down and then it throw off the balancing of the surround, which it ain't going to. But I got the CA glue in here on top, bottom, just everywhere you can think of. I'm using a different CA glue and activator. It's clear white looking, but we're gonna try it out, guys. But once I get the surround pushed down and done, I'm gonna do the push terminals and then the cone. Alright guys, I got the surround done. I now have the dust cap on, just pushed. I gotta go get some weight. I always use like a little small sub with a heavy magnet on it to press down on it. And I let it do that for about 15-20 minutes, and then I just let it off. It'll harden once it gets set. But you know, obviously, let me turn this on. It's not perfect, just because I did kind of beat up this surround. The dust cap when I was pulling it off, because it was just so hard to pull off. But yep, this is what it is, guys. So now I'm just gonna do the tensile leads and be really careful while I'm doing it, and just do the tensile leads, and this thing's done. This was a D4 and I put a D2 coil in it, so it'd be better for someone running a single sub. That is just wicked. But for someone that's running a single sub, this would be really good. Alrighty, I got a Rockville super tweeter and a PRV motor on there. Another one, 6x9, holding it down. Got the push terminals on. Everything's reading out beautiful to 2 ohm. So now I'm just going to let it set and cook. And this thing be ready to go, guys.
We've been jammed, sir. Strawberry.